Hello everyone and welcome to my reaction to the finale of Dead City. Okay, there were a lot of revelations in the last episode and I am ready to see how this all wraps up. Without further ado, because I'm running behind today, I'm going to keep it short. Let's get into it.
Maggie! Maggie!
Oh shit.
You know about this?
No. She just turned up at the arena. Right before the walkers came in.
You can't be here.
I think she just wanted to be with you.
Oh! I think she might be trying to warn you.
Flare.
But
We gotta go.
I can take her back. You finish what you started.
I want you to...
No. I killed your dad. Not wanted for robbing a wagon train. I killed 5 men. You're just a debt that I had to pay.
oh! Well, I know
That's it.
he doesn't feel that way, but he's trying to get her to go. Aye! Ooh.
What you did back there, it couldn't have been easy. For me, it wasn't the Statue of Liberty. It was Macy's. Walk into that Macy's. Become best friends with the real Santa.
Oh.
You take all my toys that I'd lost. And there it is.
Guess you were right all along.
Let's go.
I'm curious if the wheels are turning a little bit for him. Let's see. Let's see.
You were inside the sewers with Jenny. What do you think she was trying to tell me?
No
I
idea.
don't know, maybe she knew that you'd be mad at her for coming and...
Oh, no, it's happening. Oh, shit! Shit. Oh!
God damn it, Maggie. We don't have to do this.
Okay. Oh, oh my god! Oh! Oh damn! Oh damn!
Drop it. Here's what I'm thinking. The Croat never took your grain, just your kid. But whatever that crazy son of a bitch wants with me, I sure as shit ain't gonna like it. We could have done it. We could have saved Herschel. Maybe some part of you always wanted it to end this way.
Well.
You can't get over it,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't.
That's what I was saying. I don't even think there's any resentment, you know, from him. I mean, but I do think that is a fair point, that I think if they went in both kind of knowing what the whole deal was, it might have been more successful, in my opinion. I don't know. We'll never know.
Hey!
Oh.
Welcome home.
The story of the widow. By the way, I saw that you could help. You had your own incentives. Still, I never expected you to pull it off. Easy now.
Very nervous about all of this.
Just look after Jenny, will you? That's all I ask.
Oh.
It's good to see you, kid.
Oh my.
I tracked him down. Got him up against a wall. He made a move to get away, and I shot him. Killed him.
Got him. Got the son of a bitch.
Let him finish. Just saying it would have been nice to put him on display. Make a statement.
Ugh. Oh boy.
How are your girls, by the way? Marjorie, Bee, and Desi? I should pay them a visit. Let them know all about their daddy's heroics.
Oh.
And this time, I want you to tell me all about the methane.
If anything, I felt safer back there.
Oh.
It was a gift.
Well, got me a souvenir being kidnapped. Thanks.
It's like the one you used to wear.
Such you're obsessed with Negan. With what he did.
Wow.
It's like my whole life you've been looking over my shoulder, watching for him, waiting for him.
That is not true.
Well, you never see me.
Okay.
But you saw something in me. Not what I was. But what I could become. I had no idea what I was doing.
I'm sure he's
My
loving that
first
decision
swing.
now.
Complete and total submission. We were untouchable. You remember that?
I do.
But I was gonna say, unfortunately, I think he does.
Huh? I shouldn't have killed the girl. And I became the threat that needed to be handled. That will never happen again.
Oh.
I felt like the world kept taking.
I don't blame
It
you.
kept taking. I thought that if I could just fight hard enough, I'd be able to get it back. A little piece of it at least. Because you just end up losing what you got. And I don't want to keep doing that anymore. But this thing with Negan, I'm gonna finish it so that I can just let it go.
Okay. Wow.
She said, "You are the missing piece."
The problem is, he's really not that guy anymore, and nor does he want to be that guy anymore. So this is gonna be interesting, you know?
Doma, I take great pleasure in introducing you to
Thank you. But I appreciate the introduction.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
To find out that you are not, in fact, the product of someone's psychosis. heard about your performance at the bank. Wherever a natural resource abounds, they'll come for it, like a sneaking, thieving pack of hyenas.
Not entirely wrong.
The island needs leadership now more than ever. Someone with confidence.
Fuck.
Fearlessness.
Sweetie, I don't know that he wants that. Okay.
The keys to the kingdom.
What the hell is this?
My former guest and I had a lot of talks. He told me the story of a man who murdered his father, not just in front of his mother, but him. That his father's killer might feel remorseful, responsible for the boy whose family he destroyed. He only told me this once he felt safe with me. And I can always go back for more. Make it last.
Wow. Okay, guys. Well, you know I have a lot to say about that. I'm going to start with some of the, I guess, I don't necessarily want to call them side characters because I really like them, but the non-Maggie and Negan characters. But very interesting to see. I am so intrigued by Pearly. It's not even funny. I mean, I was this whole entire season. And yes, I like the actor, but I really genuinely think that that's a very interesting situation he found himself in. It was interesting when he dropped off Ginny. There was a part of me that was kind of like, it seemed like he sort of was admiring, and I might be misreading this, but like sort of admiring this community that does not use this ruthless nature or this, threats and everything. To sort of get what they want, or there's not some deep-seated terrible nature of things deep down or whatever. We were following in the main show, following the main crew that we did. It seemed for a really long time that for a while there, it didn't matter who they came across. There were, like, a lot of them, one, could not be trusted, but also were just kind of awful people who adapted to this world, which is, very appropriate to kind of focus in on and stuff like that in a show that does have, Negan as one of the leads, Thinking about one of the biggest villains in Walking Dead history and stuff like that, and regardless of how far he's come and everything, which we're going to get into all of that, of course, but like there is an interesting element of, we keep seeing these examples of, maybe people who have been influenced by this world, or maybe monopolized on it. There's an element, I feel like, with the Croat specifically, that's a very, I'm not necessarily sure this world changed him. I think this world might have just let out something deep-seated in him that maybe a lot of us would have been happier, especially that young woman, if he kept it deep down inside. You know what I mean? But I really like that aspect to this. I like that there's also multiple examples of this. And it is nice to see that Ginny is probably going to be in a community that is going to look out for her, and is probably a community that is doing their best to thrive on their own without, making statements, so to speak. You know what I mean? Without this show of force, this show of threatening, because we were talking about Pearly and the woman that he was speaking to, and she was talking about, it would have been great if we had him to Negan to make a statement, which felt very sanctuary-ish, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, that there was this strategy, or a strategy that Negan had way back in the day, was that he was going to instill fear, and then in a warped way, if he establishes himself as so powerful, you have to think that the only way that you can survive, this is kind of what he instilled, is by following him, because he is so powerful, right? And there was obviously an element, when we first met, like Dwight and Sherry, and they were running away, they were like, some people just want to kneel and look the other way, and they're completely fine with that. And that was a really interesting strategy that he implemented. The problem is, eventually you're going to run across somebody who's not really going to do that. And then it might all come tumbling down. But I do think that was really interesting, because the way that this woman was speaking to Pearly felt very kind of that vibe. And maybe not exactly, but a little bit. It kind of had that energy, right? So I found that to be really, really interesting. Here are the things. I loved the focus on Maggie and Negan within this episode. Nothing really shocked, well, I guess within their relationship, nothing really shocked me. Once I sort of found out what was revealed in the last episode about the fact that they weren't going to, steal the grain or whatever, but it was, to get Negan there. I think most of us sort of were on the same page as that, is that, if Maggie was honest with Negan about that, he possibly still would have gone along, or they could have come up with something together. But here's the thing. Do we believe that as audience members? Yes. I feel like most of us believe that Negan has changed. I think where a lot of the fans sort of maybe differ is, what does that mean that he's changed? Does that make up for stuff? Does it not? Whatever. I'm not trying to rehash that. What I'm trying to say is that, I think we know that he is a different person than obviously when we first met him in the Walking Dead universe. But what's really interesting is that, we can have that sort of clarity of vision through what we've seen of his character. But you know who can't? Maggie. Maybe some other people. Probably Dwight and Sherry up in there, seeing as I mentioned them. Because, Negan didn't... I was gonna say Negan didn't go and, murder the most important person in my life. So I can have that sort of separation. I know she's a character, but you get what I'm saying. There's trauma that was completely instilled into her, and she can't get out of that. And she was honest with him at the end of The Walking Dead, the main show, where she said, I'm not going to forgive you. There's no way that I can get past that. And, because it's a replaying thing. We've seen throughout this show, the moment she closes her eyes, the moment she tries to go to sleep, she envisions that happening. She envisions her loss. And the thing is that I think they were alluding to this for a bit. But there is an element of her trauma driving her actions. And it is a very difficult thing to, one, recognize within yourself, but also be able to try to pull back for the sake of you. Not necessarily for the sake of everybody else, though that will help relationships. But it's really interesting because, we've said it so many times. It's like Maggie has lost a lot, even pre what happened to Glenn. And even after Glenn, she has lost a lot. And she has over and over again seen very significant people in her life die, be taken from this world by very different people that they've come across. Herschel, Beth, Glenn, afterwards, Sasha, you know, like there's a lot of that she has lost. And then let's not even talk about the leaders of the Hilltop and that community. But there's a lot there. And I think, at least in my perspective, if I was in her shoes, I'd be feeling very similarly. I would have tunnel vision over my son and only protecting him. And it's this like anxious, neurotic feeling, which I can relate to. I'm a very anxious and neurotic person. So, you know, but of like, I just don't want to lose Herschel. I want to do everything in my power to protect him. And that has probably led her to live a very almost paranoid life, of which I don't even want to call it paranoid, because literally the stuff that she like, you know, she's like worried about the next attack, worry about the next bad thing that's going to happen to her, and she has every fucking right to, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even want to call her paranoid. It's this paranoid energy, but it's like she has full right to feel how she's feeling. But here's the thing. How much of a hold does it have over her? And how much can she live this way? Continue to live this way? And there's this element of, I don't think it really matters, you know, if I think she knows that Negan has changed as a person. She knows that, but she can't trust that thought in her head. She can't trust it because there is trauma there. There is hurt. There is pain that will never go away. It's one of those things that it's like, it always makes me feel, it's always so crazy to me when people are like, why can't she get over it? And I'm like, I don't think you get over stuff like that. I think you learn how to live with it. You learn how to deal with it. Or you know, and the goal might not be, she's not going to get over it. I assume what she's going to try to do is try to let this pain and trauma that has happened to her, that has caused her to be very overprotective, have this nature of how she's been with Herschel in some regards, maybe, to let that not have a hold of her completely, to let some other stuff in, to let some trust and love in. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, she's trying to really control the situation. And the problem is sometimes you can't control when bad things happen. But she's lost so much that she really can't. It's autopilot to her. To try to do everything in her power to save the people that she loves. And there will always be another kind of feeling within her that will tell her she can't trust Negan. Even if her mind is like, I see that he's changed. I see he's trying to help me. It's almost never, you're never going to get rid of that feeling of like, I not only maybe feel like I can't trust him, but it's one of those things where like, I am haunted by this action that has happened, that has caused me severe trauma. Every night, I close my eyes, I see it. Trying to put it plainly, he caused that. He caused that. So maybe if I get revenge on him, then I can finally fucking sleep. Then I can find peace. But I think she's realizing that she can't. That she did that. And he was kind of willing to do it. We'll get to that. But like, she passed him on. Did she get all of the peace in the world? Did she? No. She didn't get that closure from it. So something's got to give. And I think she's on a mission to try to figure that out. And I'm so here for it, girl. Oh, I can't wait. Okay. Oh my God, there's like just so much to talk about. But let's talk about Negan for a second. what's really interesting is within Maggie's quest to sort of try to find closure within this Negan thing and to give him up and to, you know, and she may not think that's necessarily what she's doing. Obviously, she was trying to get Herschel back, okay? I'm not gonna, you know, read her too hard for the fact that, you know, they still had her son, you know what I mean? Like, she's doing what she's got to do. But I think there was an element, and I think Herschel really brought it to the surface and really let her know. And I think that was a significant moment for her. You are kind of tunnel visioned into this wanting justice or revenge or whatever for what's happened to people that you love, right? And I think it's very difficult I keep talking about Maggie, I'm so sorry, but like, it's very difficult. It's easier, in my opinion, it's easier to hate somebody than to forgive them. And the evidence is right in front of her of like, he is changing or changed or whatever. But like, he has done good things. I don't think he's that evil, horrible man that he once was. But that one, that doesn't undo what's happened. But also, like, that's a lot harder to stomach. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's easier to be like, fuck that guy. Fuck him. I don't owe him shit and fuck him. But there is also evidence that he has changed. There is differences here. And that she, you know, that's a harder thing to process. That, you know, maybe I shouldn't get revenge on him. It's a very complex situation. I'm just trying to unpack it. But with Negan, what's really interesting, I loved what he said where he's like, you know, you can't get over it and you shouldn't. What I love about Negan, he is so self-aware of the damage that he has caused, which is what's going to be really triggering going forward with this. He's aware. He knows that he's caused some shit. You know what I mean? And he's never, I feel like, ever had any sort of chip on his shoulder in regards to people not being able to let it go, particularly Maggie, right? I think he has this sort of mentality towards that. Like, you know, if she's going to give me up to the Croat, well, you know what? He's not sitting there going, oh, she's so horrible. Why would she do that to me? You know. But it is unfortunate because what I think Maggie doesn't realize is that in this quest to push him away, get this revenge or whatever, right? She put him right in a position to become that horrible person again. I don't think he will, let me be clear. But he's in this terrible situation where now, this is honestly the worst torture or karma or whatever you want to call it that Negan could endure right now. He, I think, is in the worst possible situation. There has been times where he was like begging Maggie to kill him, to put him out of his guilt and his misery and with all of the things that he's done, because he has changed his perspective. He has come to terms with the fact that he did some horrible things, and now he's trying to, I don't know that he sees it as making up for it, but he's trying to not do any more of those things that made him feel so horrible about himself, so guilty, just that ate away at him, right? And then now he's right back in it. And it's the same threat kind of that Maggie had, but like it's a threat of like, we're going to go after this family that you feel you owe a debt to in some regard, or in all regards. But you know, like you feel this guilt already for this family. You feel this remorse for them. And we're going to go after them if you don't become the man that you once were, which I believe is Negan's worst nightmare. Oh, my goodness. The tea is piping hot today. There is so much going on. And I think he's okay with it, but he is, I think he's going to get out of this situation. And I honestly think Maggie might help, but this is very interesting going forward, in my opinion. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. All right. I really enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys enjoyed going on this journey of the Dead City episodes, and I'm very excited for what's to come. All right. If you would like to support me on Patreon or subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But if not, I'm just happy that you were here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.